In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to make an aesthetically pleasing vision board for 2021. Give you some tips and some, tricks on how to really plan out or map out your goals. And I will give you an update from my prior vision board and just show you what my 2021 vision board is as well. This video is in collaboration with my dear friend Sheree Stevenson. Her channel focuses on faith, mindset, and minimal-ish living. I love it. She's also a single mom to a beautiful son that is the exact same age as Kai, and we have very similar stories. She's pretty much me living in a different state. Be sure to check out her vision board video after watching mine. I'll link her channel below. So first I'm going to show you how I created my 2021 vision board. The way I did it, I actually used the same method I used last year. If you have not checked out my video from last year where I gave you 5 different ways to make your 2020 vision board, so it's still relevant. You can use those ways to make your 2021 vision board, so I'll link that video here so you can check it out. This video I'm just going to show you how I made this particular 2021 vision board. Let's just go ahead and get into that. Okay, so now how to make a vision board. So step 1 for me is to go into Canva, which is the free online design software, and I open up a blank document, the same dimensions as my frame. And I do this just so I can create my visuals to size, just so I can see what it would look like once it's printed. Now once I have it all set the way I want it and I have all of my visuals that need printing, I go ahead and copy it onto a new 8.5 by 11 document, also in Canva, and this is just for printing. And then I go ahead and print it out and keep it aside for putting together the vision board. So step 2 is to go ahead and get your frame ready, and I'm using the same frame from last year. So I'm just going to take it down and take out my previous vision board and create a new one. But you can get this frame from Walmart or from Target, or you can even just order something similar from Amazon. And I'll link everything below. So step number 3 is to prepare your cardstock, and this is what you will use to actually stick your vision board visuals on. And I got mine from Walmart. It was only a couple dollars and it actually came in a pack. So last year I actually just used the paper that came with the frame. So it wasn't cardstock, it wasn't too heavy, but I knew I was just going to stick pictures on there. I wasn't going to do anything too extra that needed it to be cardstock. So this year I already used that. I already used the paper last year, so I definitely needed to use the cardstock. So what I did was just measure it out and make sure I had the right dimensions and then cut it out from the cardstock. So step 4 for me, this is an optional step, but I went ahead and added the drawer liner, and this is something I got from Walmart as well. It's just something that you use to line your cupboards or your drawers before you put stuff in there. It's optional, but I'm using it as the background for my vision board. You want to carefully place this on because it can get a little bit tricky with bubbles in there. So I did it from one end to the next end and just slowly peeled the backing off and stuck it onto my board. So step number 5 is to cut out your visuals and to place them in the area you want them to go. You can include any photos, stickers, or other decorative items that you want to add to your vision board. I like to place them on the board first before actually taping them down, so that way if I change my mind, I don't have to go through having to maybe redo the background or redo the board. So after you have your visuals all placed where you want them to go, step 6 is to go ahead and tape your visuals down. Now you can also use glue for this step, but I like to use double-sided tape because it's just a little bit cleaner for me. So finally, step 7 is to go ahead and frame your vision board. So place it back in the frame that you purchased and then go ahead and hang it where you would like. I like to hang my frames using this Velcro hanging tape that you see. As you can see, I already had it there from last year. The best thing for me with that is that I can reuse it. So last year I placed it right in my office and I want to keep it at that same place. The Velcro is already on the wall and it's also on the back of the frame. So all I have to do now is just go and tape it right back up where I had it last year. So that's why I like to use the Velcro, but you can hang it any way that you'd like. Okay, now that you've seen how I created my vision board, I do want to just give you a quick little update on my past vision board. So if you've seen that video, then I want to just kind of go over some of the things, what has happened, what has not happened. And then if you want to skip that part, there There are chapters below, so you can skip on to my 2021 vision board and the tips that I will share with you. So here it is. Last year's vision board, 2020. It's actually this year's vision board. I made it last year for 2020. 2020 was supposed to be the year of 10K. Now 2020, there was like a bit of a monkey wrench thrown in it. I did not reach these goals that I, had set out to, but I will explain more in my new vision board how it's good to put like a number value. It's good to have a measurable goal, but it's okay if you do not reach that specific goal. And what's more important is that you did work on those goals and that you did see some growth from it. Yeah, it's just an update. I did end up getting a new laptop, my MacBook Pro, and I'll link that video if you want to check it out. Actually ended up being one of my best videos here on this channel. I got a new car. I got a white car, but it is not a BMW. It actually is a 2020 Toyota RAV4, and I also did a car tour on that, so I'll also link that video for you to check out after. If you watch my vision board, I did prior to this, I did a vision board success story like update where I went over some of the things that I had manifested. I had a vision video that was for 2019, started 2019 all the way through 2021. I actually manifested the exact laptop I had on there, the exact car I had on there, and I had kind of forgotten about it when I did this new vision board, but check that video out. You'll see where I am with these things. Yeah, let me just go and get into the new vision board, and I'll give you some more tips on how you can create your vision board to where you can get it to actually work for you. Now, I like to have a theme for the year. Like last year, it was the year of 10K. While I still want 2021 to be the year of 10K, I just have a different theme, a different focus. My focus for 2021 is exactly that, focus on one. And this is based off of, I've been trying to practice essentialism and trying to not clutter or have too much going on, too much confusion. I'm trying to just have clarity in everything that I do. Focus on one means like when I have my to-do list, I'll usually have like a to-do list that can run on for like 20-30 tasks, which is just really unproductive. So now how I'm doing it is I have one main priority that I need to get done. Every single day I have one top priority. If I complete that priority, it's like I'm already winning, And everything else that comes after that, all the different tasks, that is just like secondary, but I make myself choose one thing. With essentialism, that's kind of what it is too. You just have to learn to just focus on one. So that's gonna be my theme for the whole year. I'm gonna focus on one thing at a time and not overwhelm myself. Still push through my goals, but not get too cluttered. Hopefully that makes sense. So starting over here, let's go over with faith. Now in all of my vision boards, I've always had the same 3 F's: faith, family, finance. And those are what are very important to me. And I do it clockwise on purpose because that's just the way time goes. So for me, in my head, I'm like, I like to put it in this way. So faith, so God first. So really, when I talk about my 3 F's, it's based on the relationships. The relationships I have with God, relationships with my family, which includes my son, his father, his family, and my family, cousins, and friends that have become family. So when I put family, even though there's just a picture of my son, it includes a lot of people that are already in that category. And then finance, my relationship with money. I particularly chose to put pictures of myself or what I felt represented how I want to feel or what represents those categories. So I have a quote here. It says, God is within her, she will not fail. I had this in my past vision board also, but it is an important quote to me. I feel like with God, all things are possible. So last year I had this one photo that was like how I wanted to feel, how can I put this? I had a photo where it seemed powerful, like the way I was crossing the street, and I really just loved the way I looked. I looked powerful, strong, and I wanted to embody that for my business and growth, and I felt like I did in 2020. So now in 2021, I have a similar photo, a powerful photo, and it just is how I want to feel. It's like I feel happy, I feel confident in that, in myself. So let's move on to the finance section. And with finance, pretty much I need to get out of debt. Like that's something that I want to be completely debt free. The photo I put there is how I imagine myself just kicking back, kicking my feet up once I can pay off all of my debt. I still want 10K months, so I put my bag of money. I gotta get that bag. I want consistent 10K months, so I want it to be like every month I have a minimum of 10K, and I want to, and I feel like I'm feeling confident that I will surpass that in 2021. And now the last thing up here, community. This is having to do with my goals for like here on YouTube and my goal for Instagram. And I specifically just chose 2 because I don't want to, like I said, I'm trying to just be clear on things. I don't want to overwhelm myself with trying to keep up with too much. I still want to get 10K on YouTube and 10K on Instagram. And that is specifically for Instagram, my Simply Bossing Up, which is my business Instagram. So Simply Bossing Up is the handle. What one thing I was mentioning earlier was how with the 10K, like having numbers, when you set goals, it is good to have measurable goals that you can say, okay, yes, I can measure that, I hit that goal. I want to encourage people to not get too caught up on the numbers, which is why I put community, because for me, community is more important than the vanity metrics. So 10K on YouTube and 10K on Instagram for me means I can do more on the platform. So with Instagram, it gives you the swipe up feature, so you can put your link if you want to. You know, for business, that's important. If you are trying to sell something to people, or even just giving out a freebie, you want people to be able to easily access whatever you're telling them about. If you have that swipe up feature, you can put the link in your story or in your stories, and people can access it that way. And same thing with YouTube, you don't get access to stories until you have 10,000 subscribers. So it's just a long-term goal for me, and I'm feeling really good with YouTube because it took me a while to get a hang of it. Now I feel like I'm actually moving in a good direction. What I meant about not really focusing too much on the numbers, like last year I had 10K that I wanted for YouTube and 10K that I wanted for Instagram. Now I did not reach those goals, but I did reach some great goals with each of them. Now with YouTube, I got 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours, so I became monetized. Since then, my channel has been growing more. And with Instagram, the fact that I even just got started because I was pushing it back for so long, and finally just said, you know what, let me just do it. You know, how am I going to reach 10K if I can't even post on the account? For me, it's all about growth when you are setting your goals. So like there's some people that have negative ideas of vision boards and say, you know, it's too much pressure, you put this pressure on yourself, you have to get these things that you put on there, whether it's a car or, you know, or so many different things. For me, the way I look at it is not to think of it as, oh, the pressure's on, I have to get this. It's just as a reminder to you that you are working on these things, and it's supposed to not make you feel stressed or pressured. For me, I like looking at my vision board. I feel like when I look at it, I'm reminding myself of the things. It gives me motivation. It's supposed to motivate you on working harder for the things that you want to reach. This year, I don't know if you noticed, I don't have any material things on there. So last year I had a car, I had a laptop, and I know that's a big, you know, thing with vision boards, putting, you know, having a big house on there or the big boat that you want. And for me, this 2021 is really about how I feel internally, and also about things that are still tangible, like getting out of debt. To me, that's tangible. Having the 10K, that is tangible, but I'm not really focusing on things that I want. I'm gonna focus on my relationships. Here, I just have my brand. So this is my logo for my personal brand, Abby Kumar, and these are my brand colors. And I wanted to have it on there because if you are in business at all, then you know it takes time to come up with your brand. It takes time to figure out the right colors that you feel just are right for you, and to come up with a logo. It might even be expensive for some people to have a logo. I want to make sure I use it and I incorporate it every way that I can. So yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please give this video a thumbs up if you took anything away from it that you found useful, and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to follow along my journey. I would love to also follow along yours, and I will catch you next time.